Hey guys, what's going on? It's David here from Scissor Explosion, and welcome back to our new series tournament report. This is our second episode, and this is the series that keeps you up to date on the cards that are doing good in the meta. Let's see what kind of decks are going on, are getting big in the meta right now. So there was a regional just this weekend, September the 29th, in Offenbach or Frankfurt, which is in Germany, and there are some really cool decks. The coolest one is probably the first place deck, which was a Sylveon GX deck. Sylveon Disruption. I didn't know if Sylveon would keep its bearings as being one of the best disruptive Pokemon or not, but apparently it had. It did lose things like Team Flare Grunt in the last rotation, and here comes Team Rocket. No, not here comes Team Rocket. Team Rocket's Handiwork. Sorry about that, my phone's going off. Let me just turn off the sound there real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so as you can see, this is coming from limitlesstcg.com, as you can see up here, and y'all can feel free to check this out yourself if you'd like. But I wanted to take a look at some of these probably the top 8 decks. But before we do that, let's look at some of the decks that people are playing. Here is a Sylveon GX, which got first place out of all these strong decks. I mean, you got Rayquaza Vikavolt, you've got Shiny Lugia Malamar, you've got Buzzwole Garbodor, the Shrine decks. These two are both Shrine decks. And let's see, Buzzwole Lycanroc. Now, this is classic GX Buzzwole. This is Big Daddy Buzzwole. So, he's still doing good in the meta, apparently. I didn't know if he could survive without the Max Elixirs, the Turbo build. I know that now you still have Beast Ring, but you don't have any way to power up your benched Buzzwoles other than manual attachment or your Beast Rings. Then we've also got here a Zoroark Buzzwole deck that got 6th place. Steelix Hoopa is one we're going to take a look at as well. This is the new Steelix from Celestial Storm, along with the Darkness type Hoopa that stops EXs and GXs from attacking. We've got another Buzzwole Garb Shrine deck, Buzzwole Garb Weavile Shrine deck, Malamar Psychic. Then we got Buzzwole Lycanroc, stuff like that. Nothing really huge. Here's a Zoroark Lucario. I haven't seen Lucario around in quite a while. There's that. Necrozma Malamar. We've got Buzzwole Lycanroc, Tapu Koko Weavile. That's another. That is another Shrine deck. Some more Rayquaza here at the 21st and 22nd spot. We also got a Zoroark Macargo. We knew Macargo was going to be good, and Macargo is going to continue to be good going on forward, especially with Macargo GX coming out in Lost Thunder. Another card I am excited for, but I think the card I'm most excited for in that set, it's either going to be a toss-up between Bucephalon GX and sorry, losing my voice, guys. Bucephalon GX or Zeraora. I know Zeraora is probably not going to be as strong, what with Buzzwole running around the format right now. My notifications keep going off. But yeah, that's some of the top decks, guys. But let's take a look at the top 8 here. We'll take a closer look at their deck profiles. Let's see. The first one, top 8, was a Buzzwole Garb. This is Buzzwole Garb Shrine, and your standard baby Buzzwole for those. 3 Trubbish, 2 Garbodor. Garbodor's still doing fantastically since we have moved into an even more item-heavy format. Garbodor can just run rampant here. 2 Slugma, 2 Macargo, 1 Sneasel, 1 Weavile. These are really good for those ability decks. I believe this is the Weavile that does 50 damage times the amount. Yes, Evil Admonition does 50 damage times the amount of Pokemon of your opponent's Pokemon that has an ability. So yeah, that Weavile is pretty strong. But it's not always good, like if you go up against another Shrine deck like this, these Buzzwoles and Garbodors. But the only one that has an ability is Macargo, and then Diancie Prism Star as well. But that only makes your Weavile hit for 100 damage, which isn't very efficient. Plus, it's weak to Dark, so it's not going to stay around. Weak to Fighting, so it's not going to stay around for very long at all. Let's see. 1 Sneasel, 1 Weavile. You got the Diancie Prism Star, the Oranguru with the Instructability. Also, you got your standard 4 Lily, 4 Guzma, 2 Cynthia, 2 Cynthia, just down to 2. Oh, that's pretty interesting. 2 Kukui, 1 Judge, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Acrobike, 2 Rescue Stretcher, a Switch, a Field Blower, 3 Choice Band, and 3 Shrine of Punishments. Then you've got your standard energy spread that I've seen on a lot of these decks. 4 Rainbow Energy, 2 Fighting Energy, 1 Beast Energy, Prism Star, 1 Unit Energy, Fighting Dark and Fairy, and 1 Counter Energy. Deck is pretty cool. This Buzzwole going forward into the meta is going to be so amazing, and he's not going anywhere for a long time. A buddy of mine, Mike, you've seen him here on the channel, he's thinking that these Shrine decks probably won't last too long, and we're kind of in an argument about that because I think they will stay around for a while. I mean, GXs are going to be around forever, and if it's not GX, then it's the next thing, and these things for one prize can attack for 120 damage, and even without your opponent having 4 prizes, you get Deancey Prism Star up here. Here, let's show you that pick there. You get Deancey Prism Star up, you get a Choice Band, then already you're hitting for 100 damage. So yeah, these baby Buzzwoles are not going anywhere. They're going to stay around for a long time. Okay, on to the 7th place spot. This is that Steelix Hoopa deck that I wanted to look at here. So it plays 3 Onyx and 3 Steelix from the new Celestial Storm expansion. And it's pretty neat. You've got 190 HP, which is huge for a non-GX Pokemon. I mean, GX Pokemon have 190 HP. It's absolutely gigantic. You've got Tackle for 30 damage for 2 colorless energies, not great. And then you've got Metal, double colorless, Tail Crush, 80 damage plus flip a coin. If heads, is 40 more damage. So hit for 120 on coin flip. If not, it'll do 80. But still, with the Choice Band, you're hitting 110, so you're still able to one-shot some of those things. You've got a nice resistance to Psychic there, which is pretty cool. Fire is not a huge relevant weakness right now until Bucephalon hits, and then it will be a huge nightmare for that Steelix. Then we've got 2 of the attacking Hoopa with the Scoundrel Guard. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon EX and GX. And then the Psybolt attack, or Super Psybolt for Darkness Double Colorless does 80 damage. Then we've got a Wailmer and a Wailord. We've got 2 Wailmers, one from Celestial Storm, one from Guardians Rising. And then the Wailord from Celestial Storm as well. And it's got, I don't think they actually use it for the attack. I think they use it for the massive HP that it has. Probably the biggest non-GX HP in the game, which is 220. With a, you could even use something like a bodybuilding dumbbells and make it have 260. I wonder if they play that. They do. They play 1 copy of bodybuilding dumbbells right there. So that's pretty cool. You can even use that on the Steelix and make him have even more HP. Let's see. So the basic strategy of this deck is stall. You have these huge non-GX Pokemon that have a whole bunch of HP, and then you have all of these... oh yeah, 1 Tapu Lele. Sorry guys, I didn't even explain the rest of the cards. 1 Oranguru. This is the Resource Management Oranguru right there. That lets you reshuffle, or not reshuffle, put 3 cards from your discard pile back at the bottom of your deck in order to gain back your resources. 1 Tapu Lele, the Fairy Tapu Lele from Ultra Prism. And then 1 Articuno GX, pretty interesting. I believe this is in here to, what I would imagine it's in here for is to get whatever's in the active out of the active, because you have these huge Pokemon that have a huge retreat cost. You've got Steelix that has 4, you've got Wailord that has 4 as well. So Articuno can come in and get those Pokemon out of the active, and then it can even use its GX attack because you run 1 Rainbow and 1 Counter Energy as well. So the GX attack lets you discard all energy attached to both active Pokemon. Pretty cool. You can leave your opponent's active Rayquaza empty with energy, or active Buzzwole, something like that. Then your supporter line is total disruption. You've got 4 Cynthia, 4 Steven's Resolve, and Steven's Resolve is really cool. It's basically Sylveon GX's Magical Ribbon in a supporter card. So it's basically like an attack because it ends your turn. You search your deck for any 3 cards and put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck, your turn ends. You got 3 Acerola, 3 Lusamine to get those supporters back. 2 Plumeria. Plumeria is seeing a lot more play. I've seen it played in some of those Japanese decks. We saw that in Bucephalon. It played it in there to disrupt your opponent a little bit. Also to help you get those fire energies to the discard pile for the Naganadel ability. But that's later on. I'm really excited for that deck, and as soon as it comes out, I'm going to make it and I'm going to profile it for you guys. We got 1 one Gladion to get your prize cards out. You do play a 2-1 line of Wailord. If that Wailord's prize, I imagine that's pretty detrimental. So 1 Gladion, 1 Fan Club, 1 Copycat, 1 Tate and Liza, 1 Teep Skull Grunt, some more of that disruption, 1 Guzma, 1 Looker, so you can combo that with the Resource Management Oranguru, 4 Max Potion, 3 Enhanced Hammers, 2 Nest Balls, 2 Counter Catchers, 2 Crushing Hammers, 1 Acrobike, 1 Rescue Stretcher, 2 Metal Frying Pan, 1 Bodybuilding Dumbbells, 2 Shrine of Punishment, and 1 Brooklet Hill. Pretty awesome. And then you've also got 1 Rainbow Energy, 1 Counter Energy. That Brooklet Hill in here is pretty cool because it does work with the Wailmers, and it also works with the Onyxes because they are fighting type as well. Very cool. It's a very cool deck. Something I think y'all should look into if you're interested in stall. Stall is really cool strategy. It just frustrates your opponent really bad. But let's get on to the next deck, guys. We've got the 6th place here. That is a Zoroark Buzzwole deck. I believe it's Buzzwole GX. It is. So we have 4 Zorua, 4 Zoroark, basic for any Zoroark deck. You've got 2 Buzzwole GX, 1 Baby Buzzwole, 1 Rockruff, 1 Lycanroc, 1 Diancie Prism Star, and 2 Tapu Lele GX. Pretty interesting. My buddy Mike tried to build a Zoroark and Buzzwole GX deck. He kind of scrapped it because he felt like they didn't have a whole lot in common. Like Zoroark has to run double colorless energies, and Buzzwole has no use for colorless energies. But apparently that is not the case here. He may have to try and rebuild that once again. Let's see, we got 3 Cynthias, 3 Guzmas, 2 Lilies, 2 Acerolas, 2 Kukuis, 1 Judge, 1 Malo, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Beast Ring, 1 Fill Blower, Rescue Stretcher, Pal Pad, 2 Choice Band, 2 Weakness Policy. Weakness Policy is a card that's seeing a lot more play. You've got these Baby Buzzwoles that can one-shot Zoroarks, and it's pretty devastating if they can, because they're one-prize attackers. And these Weakness Policies, I've even started putting them in my Zoroark decks because of Baby Buzzwole. But yeah, Weakness Policy is seeing a lot more play, and even Zoroark decks are finding ways to deal with that Baby Buzzwole by playing Devoured Field in their deck. And a Devoured Field lets your Zoroarks hit for 10 more damage, and that'll be 130 with a full bench. But then, to counter that, the Baby Buzzwole decks are starting to play the Sudowoodo with the Roadblock ability. That makes it to where your opponent cannot have more than 4 bench Pokemon, so it stops those Zoroarks from hitting that 130 perfect number. But Kukui can help with that as well, so it's like a back and forth game between those 2 decks. Okay, so they do not play the Devoured Field, but they do play 2 Brooklet Hill in order to get out their Buzzwoles, their Rockruffs, their Buzzwole GXs, and even Diancie. You've got 6 Fighting Energies, 4 DCEs, and 1 Beast Energy Prism Star. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting deck. Now, guys, on to the number 5 place. We've got Buzzwole GX Lycanroc. This is a classic favorite of my buddy Mike, and he still even got his Buzzwole deck built, and he's trying to find a way to make it great. And I believe here they're kind of doing the same thing that we were doing in his deck. We've got 4 Buzzwole GX, or 4 Baby Buzzwole. Okay, that's a little different. He played, I think, the opposite. I think he played 4 Buzzwole GX and 2 Baby Buzzwole. But this one's more focused on Baby Buzzwole. We've got 4 Baby Buzzwole, 1 Buzzwole GX, 1 Rockruff from Forbidden Light, 1 Rockruff from Guardians Rising, and then 2 of the Lycanroc GX. Of course, that's going to be the Bloodthirsty Eyes Night Form Lycanroc GX. One of my daughter's favorite Pokemon. Pretty cool. You got Diancie Prism Star, 2 Slugma, 2 Macargo, 1 Oranguru, the Instruct Oranguru. Both the Orangurs are pretty popular, so I'll specify which one we got. 4 Lily, 4 Guzma, 3 Cynthia, 2 Kukui, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Nest Ball, 2 Acrobike, 2 Beast Rings. Let's see, 1 Rescue Stretcher, 1 Field Blower, 1 Switch, 1 Multi-Switch, 3 Choice Bands, and 3 Brooklet Hills. And to end off the line, guys, there's 10 Fighting Energies, 1 Beast Energy Prism Star, and 1 Double Colorless Energy. The 1 double colorless I imagine would be for Rockruff or Lycanroc. I would imagine, because Buzzwole GX doesn't need it, and Buzzwole really doesn't need it. I guess it could use it if it had to, but I would have to imagine it's to get that Lycanroc charged up in 1 turn. But I believe that will be replaced when in November by Counter Gain, which is an item card that attaches. It's a Pokemon tool, and it says as long as you're behind in prizes, your attacks of the Pokemon it's attached to cost colorless less. So a pretty cool card. I've seen that tech in some of the decks from that top placing at the Japanese Champions League. Alright, guys, on to number 4, which is Buzzwole Garb. It's a rehash of the one we saw a minute ago. 4 Baby Buzz, 3 Trubbish, 2 Garbs. Then we've got 2 Slugma, 2 Macargo, 1 Sneasel, 1 Weavile. These decks are almost completely identical, except they are playing that Roadblock Sudowoodo that I was telling you about just a moment ago. Your opponent can't have more than 4 bench Pokemon. If they have 5 or more bench Pokemon, they discard the bench Pokemon until they have 4. So it's kind of like Parallel City, but a little bit weaker. But it does stop those Zoroarks from one-shotting your Baby Buzzwoles, so that's pretty neat. So basically, Pokemon line is exactly the same with the exception of that Sudowoodo. We do have 4 Lily, 4 Guzma, 2 Cynthia, 2 Kukui, 1 Judge, 1 Ultra Ball, 4 Nest, or 1 Judge, 4 Ultra Ball. Sorry guys, I'm going really fast. 4 Nest Ball, 2 Acrobike, 2 Rescue Stretchers, 1 Switch, 1 Field Blower, 3 Choice Bands, and 3 Shrine of Punishments. And then we've got 4 Rainbow, 2 Fighting, 1 Beast Energy Prism Star, 1 Unit Energy, Fighting Dark and Fairy, and 1 Counter Energy. This deck is doing really good. I really don't see Baby Buzzwole slowing down any of these Shrine decks for that matter. Just because, I mean, you're taking 2 prizes to your opponent's 1. Just so much of an advantage. And with these decks doing so well, I mean, the last few regionals have had all of these Shrine decks. I don't think Shrine's going anywhere for a very long time. And next up we got Shining Lugia. My boy Shining Lugia, pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to see this deck get a 3rd place topping. It played, so Shining Lugia is here. I did a deck profile on this, guys. If you'd like to check that out, I can post a link in the comment section down below. We've got Argent Wing for 3 colorless energies, does 60 damage plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has an ability, does 60 more, so 120. And then you got Arrow Force for 130 damage for 4 colorless energies, discard energy attached to this Pokemon. Really not a problem in this deck. It may seem really expensive, but you do have your old boy Malamar there to back you up with that Psychic Recharge ability. And yeah, pretty strong. We've got 4 Inkay, 3 Malamar, 3 Shining Lugia, 2 Tapu Koko promo with the Flying Flip attack, 1 Deoxys. Now this Deoxys is starting to grow on me. It's got that Psychic attack just like Mewtwo does, and then does 20, the Mewtwo from Evolutions or Generations, which it just rotated, so this Pokemon just replaced it. It's got same exact attack, same cost, same damage, everything. It does 20 damage plus 20 more for every energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Then it's got Power Blast for double Psychic and colorless, 120 damage, discarding energy from this Pokemon. Pretty cool. 1 Deoxys, 1 Mimikyu. That is the copycat of Mimikyu that a lot of people are playing. I'm even playing it in my Necrozma Malamar deck. Pretty awesome. 1 Necrozma GX, 1 Marshadow. Necrozma's in this deck mainly for his Black-Ray GX attack, but it is an option to attack with Prismatic Burst if needed. 1 Marshadow, this is the Let Loose Marshadow that's getting so popular, and it's really good. It's just a Judge and a Pokemon ability, pretty awesome. 1 Oranguru from Sun and Moon base set, that's the Instruct, and then we've also got 1 Sudowoodo with the Roadblock ability. 4 Lily, 4 Cynthia, 3 Guzma, 4 Acrobike, 3 Mysterious Treasure. We've got 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Rescue Stretcher, 1 Nest Ball, 2 Choice Band, and 4 Shrine of Punishments, plus 8 Psychic Energies and 4 DCEs. Pretty awesome. And now we move on to Rayquaza, which is the 2nd placing deck. And this deck, it's still really strong. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to compete with some of the decks that are coming out in Lost Thunder, just because Bucephalon is kind of what Rayquaza is, but more aggressive. He's more powerful, he deals more damage, and he can do it quicker and earlier in the game. So I don't know if Rayquaza is going to be able to compete with Bucephalon GX, but it's something we'll just have to wait and see. We didn't see any Rayquazas top in the tournament at the Tokyo Champions League, but I'm sure there were some there, but we just didn't see any. We've got 4 Rayquaza GX, my boy Rayquaza. I love this deck. It's so awesome, so powerful. But like I said, Bucephalon may be coming in to encroach on Rayquaza's throne. We've got 3 Grubbin, 3 Vikavolt, 2 Shining Lugia, which is really cool. I've seen Shining Lugia teched into a lot of these Rayquaza decks. I've even seen the Delmise from Celestial Storm being teched into this deck as well. But just a non-GX attacker that can be charged up pretty easily with Vikavolt with that strong charge ability. Really strong. And then we've got 2 Tapu Lele GX, 1 Marshadow, and 1 Shaman. This was interesting when I looked at this deck list. I didn't expect to see the Shaman in here, but I guess it can be pretty useful. You've got 70 HP, 1 Retreat cost, weakness to fire. You've got Flippity Flap for 1 Grass Energy. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. Basically a Cynthia in an attack. And then you've got Rally Back for Grass Colorless, 30 damage plus. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack during their last turn, this damage is 90 more, or this attack does 90 more damage. So it can hit for 120 for 2 energies, which is pretty neat. I guess you could strong charge onto it and then get into the active and hit for 120. Pretty good non-GX attacker. Not bad at all. It can KO things like a Lycanroc GX, since it is weak to grass. So I guess that's something to say for it. You've got 4 Cynthia, 4 Guzma, 2 Volkner, 2 Fan Club, 1 Stevens Resolve, 4 Rare Candy, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Nest Ball, 2 Mysterious Treasure, 2 Rescue Stretcher, 2 Energy Recycler, and 1 Escape Rope with 7 Grass and 7 Lightning energies. Pretty awesome. And now we get on, guys, to the grand finale, the Sylveon GX that got first place at this tournament in Germany. And as you can see, the Pokemon line is slim. We've got 4 Eevees with Energy Evolution, because that's the Eevee you want to play. If you play any other Eevee, I think you're making a bad decision. But then we have 4 Sylveon GX. Sylveon GX is a powerful Pokemon. It's been powerful since it came out back in Guardians Rising. It's got 200 HP, 2 retreat cost, weakness to metal, resistance to dark, which is pretty awesome. And then you've got Magical Ribbon for 1 Fairy Energy. Search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You do not have to reveal these cards to your opponent, just like Stevens Resolve. So you add them straight to your hand, search your deck for some of those Disruption-y cards, even some Max Potions, some Acerolas, something like that. And then and this is really the attack you use mainly the entire time. You do have the option to go aggressive. Say if you go up against Rayquaza and you know you're able to one-shot him easily. It is an option to attack with Fairy Wind for 220 damage. And then you've also got Plea GX, which is really disruptive, especially to decks that are like Rayquaza that have to set up a stage 2. You put 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and all cards attached to them into your opponent's hand. So basically, Rayquaza would have to redig for those last 2 rare candies. Hopefully, they didn't get ditched with Rayquaza's ability or with an Ultra Ball used early on in the game. But if you do, that's kind of bad. But Plea GX is pretty strong, really strong against those Stage 2 decks. You've got 4 Plumeria, which is discard 2 cards from your hand, and if you do, discard an energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon, to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's a really powerful card. You've also got 3 Acerola to heal up those Sylveons, 2 Guzmas, 2 Lucamines to get back any of these supporters you need. 2 Team Skull Grunt. I didn't show you this one earlier in the other deck profile, but I will show you it now. Your opponent reveals their hand, discard 2 energy from it. Pretty awesome. No cost to use the card, so that's pretty awesome. 2 Judges, 2 Professor Kukuis, 1 Mars. This is one of the first competitive decks I have seen Mars in, but it is pretty interesting. Draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. So you draw 2 cards, like Kukui, and as the added effect, you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. A little bit of disruption there. Then 1 Gladion to get those cards out of the prizes that you would need. 4 Max Potions, 4 Crushing Hammers, 3 Enhanced Hammers, 1 Nest Ball, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Fill Blower, 1 Pal Pad, 2 Bodybuilding Dumbbells, 1 Mount Lanakila. And Mount Lanakila is pretty cool. It makes the retreat cost of each basic Pokemon in play, yours and your opponent's, is colorless more. So you can stop those Tapu Kokos from retreating for free. They're going to have to discard an energy, and that could be pretty bad for them. They're going to have to force to use their energy attachment for the turn to attach like a Psychic Energy if you're playing Shining Lugia in order to get that retreat off. So that could be pretty bad. Then you've got 1 copy of Lysander Labs. This is another really cool card. It makes the effects of all Pokemon tool cards irrelevant. Pokemon tool cards in play, both yours and your opponent's, have no effect. So choice bands don't do anything. Your escape boards won't do anything if you play those. Really, really cool card. Yeah. Bodybuilding Dumbbells. He even plays that in this deck as well to bump up his HP of his Sylveons, but if he must use Lysander Labs, then those dumbbells will be useless until it gets discarded. And to end off the line, guys, 12 Basic Fairy and 2 Double Colorless Energy. Really, really strong. I think this deck is really good. I even considered building it back before we had rotation, when we had things like Team Flare Grunt, and we had Team Rocket's Handiwork, which is a really cool card. The artwork looks awesome. In full art, it looks awesome. But yeah, I didn't know if this deck would be able to survive with the loss of Team Flare Grunt, but as you can see, this deck is doing just fine. It's able to counter some of those big decks, especially Rayquaza. We come in with Sylveon and one-shot him easily. and sometimes they may have to rebuild a Rayquaza in order to come back and get you with the one-shot. But then you also play those bodybuilding dumbbells in order to decrease the chances of one-shotting happening to you. But yeah, y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think these decks, do you guys play any of these decks? And if you do, are there any techs in these decks that you like for your own? Let me know in the comment section below. I will be bringing you guys some more deck profiles coming up. I just had a request for a updated Scizor GX deck profile, so I will get that up for you guys probably either tomorrow or the next day. I do have a request for Ultra Necrozma and Metagross, and then I'm also working on a couple Glaceon GX builds. So y'all look forward to that coming up. We are going to be getting in Reshiram Ho-Oh soon, so we will profile that deck for you as well. And Dragonite GX is coming. Salamence GX is coming. Kingdra GX is coming. We got plenty of decks to keep you guys tied over until Lost Thunder comes out. So y'all subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like, comment down below. This is David from Scizor Explosion, and I will see you guys next time.